Hi Aries, welcome to your October 2017 readings. It's about bloody time, right? I'm sorry, you guys. Hi. Yeah, I have been going through a lot. So have you, Aries. I get that. I'm picking up a lot of, I don't want to say anxiety, but worrying and, um, Aries, I want you guys to be careful of your exchange of energy, where you might be getting energy pulled out of you from others that you need to be putting into yourself right now, is what I'm getting. There's an exchange of energy happening somehow, uh, where I don't even think you're aware of it, and that might sound weird. I do, I do have a Mars. Sorry, I just heard a dog there barking. I do have a Mars, Venus, Aquarius. So, and my Leo moon sits in Aquarius. Hey, my shirt. I wore this shirt specifically for you guys. It says it's Morphin Time. It's Power Rangers. That's the way I see Aries. I might be a little biased with Aries because my mom's an Aries, so I do love the Aries energy. The way I see you guys is kind of like, well, like it's morphin time. That's what I feel like for you guys. This is why I put the shirt on. When I was doing Aries, it was like for some reason I wanted to put this shirt on for you guys because like you guys have this capacity. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. You guys turn into like a freaking Power Ranger when stuff starts hitting the fan, and it's like it's morphin time, and you plow through everything. Where so it's like I'm really getting I'm really getting this energy where like you guys you're in some sort of transformation, and Aries is like the soldier. Okay, weird. I said this in a Sagittarius video too, where uh, they're not okay. And Aries will go in first. You know, you got to admire that where they don't care. Uh, and people see that as selfish. Okay, every sign is selfish. Okay, I don't know why people say Aries are selfish. They're quite selfless. I know quite a few Aries, and they're very selfless. If they're selfish, it's because Aries. I find you guys to be quite magical. My mom, she's very psychic and very magical. Like I'm 32 years old, and still to this day, my mom pulls out like tricks or things that she knows how to do that I didn't even know. It's like, holy shit, where'd that come from? Like she amazes me all the time where you guys are like a Swiss Army knife. You really are. And the people you care about, you don't let them go down. Like you provide for them. And, sometimes people don't understand that Aries might not be the most verbal sign with affection. I do find you guys to be quite affectionate. You just, uh, but you show your affection through your ability to protect and to um, morph. Guys, turn into the Power Ranger and get what needs to be done. You might need that. Okay, I'm just waiting for the energies to get interrupted. I do read energies, you guys. There we go. Uh, and energies, I use the cards as a tool to tune into a frequency, and it just allows me to pull out the messages. That sounds weird. Again, I do have Aquarius in me, so uh, expect the unexpected, people. I even surprise myself most of the time. I have a Virgo rising, so when I get on camera, I get a little shy. I lose a lot of my vocab, and it's like nothing's in the brain. And I suppose that helps when you're doing something like this. You can kind of channel more. My Leo moon kicks in, and my Leo moon to me is kind of like Eddie Murphy, just always laughing. So the first card we have is the Lovers. I did my nails too. I haven't done that in like 2 months for the videos. I mean, I'm sure Virgo and Libra were kind of annoyed by that. If there's any Libras watching, I'm sure they appreciate that, or Virgos. The next card we have is the Strength card. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, you guys are about to morph here. You guys are about to get shit done. Oh, man. We have the Tower coming in. Okay. Don't Don't freak out. Okay. The tower is associated with Aquarius because it's lightning. It's like you can associate that with Sag too, due to Zeus. You know, Zeus has lightning, but it is associated with Aquarius because it's a very fast, shocking energy. It's change. So the next card we have is the Knight of Chalices. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords coming in. See, this is like Aries to me. See that? Like these are like Tarzan. Doesn't matter if you're out in the wild, you know. Like the next card we have is the I want to say the Queen of Wands, but it's the Queen of Pentacles. Uh, and I like I read energy, so I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is you guys. Like you're gonna be very in tune with the Earth, Aries. I want you to watch your health is coming through here. So this is like because I'm getting the image of a rabbit, and like if you go to like spiritual meaning of a rabbit, if you guys want to research that yourselves, because you'll find uh, what information you need when you search yourself. Everybody, it'll be kind of different, and you'll get the feeling of what resonates with you and what doesn't, right? But there's some importance here of the rabbit, which in a rabbit is due to it is health. It does talk about watching what you eat, uh, and it also talks about making moves too quickly. All right, because if we go back, oh, and it's interesting. I put the turtle out today too. So if you go back to the tortoise and the hare, okay, and I recently watched a video. I don't know why I watched it. It was in China. It was a YouTube video, and they were putting it to the theory to a test, the tortoise and the hare, and it did. They put a rabbit, and then they put a turtle, and the turtle did win. The video had like 1.5 million views. It was a race. So there's a sense here of like you got to tame that. You got to tame your inner beast, not to push forward. You got to think about things. You got to ground things. You got to be practical. Also, for some of you guys, I feel like, okay, the Queen of Pentacles is talking about writing, and it's talking because you got the Knight of Cups in the energy I'm getting from that. It's fluid energy, and it's a creative energy. So it's like a well, there's many forms of creativity, right? Like everybody expresses that different. It's interior designing, it's writing, it's dancing is very fluid, you know, like and Aries, I do know quite a few Aries that are dancers. You guys like dancing. Music's important to you guys. So whatever's happening here, and okay, well, like this might sound weird, but music elevates you, okay? And if you study many cultures, you go back to many cultures, the Dutch, African cultures, native cultures, they use dance. It's very spiritual, but it's a protector, and it's a protector from negative energy. So when I say listening to music and using, and Albert Einstein did this too, he used classical music. He played an instrument though. Anytime he had a problem for a scientific solution that he was trying to come up with, right? And science is quite complex. A lot of the time, they don't even have the equation to work with. And Albert Einstein, the stuff he did, he made the equations pretty much. And he always stated that he received his answers through music. And his wife said this too, Elsa, which was his cousin, which is a little weird, but you know, we're not here to judge people. His wife even stated whenever he got stuck on a problem, he would go and he would play classical music. That was his love, his passion. He had a violin. I forget the name. He named his violin too. But he would play music, and both of them stated within the time frame of him playing that song, he received the messages that he needed, or at least the next step to it. That's a weird message I'm getting, and it okay with the tower. It like okay, I understand you guys might think that's a little out there, but again, back to all these different cultures, they used music as well. some of them used it for protection. Shamans use this for path guiding. Um, if you're a writer, ooh, it's kind of, I use music myself, but you kind of, you're all individuals. You're gonna have to find what music works for you. I do love classical music. Uh, I do find classical music, when you got problems, like if you're like mentally, you guys might be going through a lot. You got a lot of problems. Okay, before you start morphing, you gotta calm those emotions. You gotta tame them a bit. So music is quite important for you guys to elevate and protect your vibration, because there is an Aries, and I do believe it's Patty. You're exchanging energy, and you're not aware of it, and you need to protect your energy field, because you're becoming more elevated. Okay, and then for any of you other Aries, that there is a sense here that's happening for you guys. Okay, the reason why I don't really answer comments back, and I'm trying to fix that, is because of the energy exchange. When I get messages for the specific person, when I get the comment, and the way I receive messages can be quite overwhelming, and it's like it's hard to describe how my abilities work. It really like it's confusing. Uh, and people that have gifts, you may receive these gifts through ancestries. So like if you're from the Caribbeans, you're probably more clairvoyant. You have clairvoyant abilities. If you are somebody from, say, the Azores, okay, these people, they usually have an energy. They can exchange energy. Their abilities come from, like, it's energy sources. My mom's from the Azores. She's Portuguese. They're from the islands, and I don't even know why it's considered part of Portugal, because it's like closer to Africa than it is Portugal. They're way out there all by themselves. But some of you guys, even you men, you're exchanging your energy. Your energy is getting exchanged. You're quite intuitive, okay, and you might pick up on things suddenly. You might get like flashes of intuition. So when people are talking and something's off, you might get like, they might say something, and it's like a right there in that moment you understand, almost like their full intentions, where they're coming from. You have this ability to protect others too. Uh, I feel like for some of you guys, you have a child. Okay, I haven't pulled all the cards. Let's pull the last. We got the Nine of Wands here. You guys are highly sensitive right now in energy. I am seeing that. Your energy is being depleted somehow, and um you need some sort of tactic to protect it. Music is very good for you guys, and when I talk about music, you want, okay, even house music, if you listen to old school music, house music, techno music, okay, you don't want stuff with like bad lyrics in it. You're looking for happy, upbeat stuff. And when you start to get down, you need to be putting that on, and even like forcing yourself to kind of like feel it. And then you'll start noticing your 3-5 minutes a day on break time at work. You need that to elevate and protect yourself. That's it. That's going to elevate your vibration, and it's going to keep negative negative vibrations from hitting you, which will keep your mind clear. And salt baths are really good for you guys. That protects your energy. I've talked about this before. Water has energy. It has electrons in it. The electrons do not get activated until there's salt added to it. That you can make a renewable energy source with that. In the Philippines, they make little lanterns that can last about, I think, up to 4 hours with it. Hopefully, other people start looking into that. That is a renewable source of energy, right? It's just like if you take a salt bath, that adding the salt to the water will activate the electrons in the water, which will act as like a shield for you guys. Such weird messages today. It's like morphing time. They have to have that when they morph, they get their equipment on, you know? It's a protection. So when they get impacted, it's not as hard. Or does that make sense? You know? Like, I feel like for some of you guys that are concerned about it is a child and it is a boy. It is showing a boy here. It's a young boy. Uh, okay, there's some sort of you're concerned with the health and stuff like that. And with the rabbit, I do see the rabbit. It's your solution is going to be food. Okay, there's been studies, you know, of people that had autistic children, and some parents go out there and they study for like 5 years. You might even be able to find articles about it of what foods worked. Taking certain foods out of their diet and then adding certain foods into their diet actually changed their personality, where the children were more able to adapt, and their communication skills changed. Some of you want to consider the fact with your dietary plan here. I'm getting is your ancestry as well. I don't know. You guys are getting weird messages here. What's going on here? Okay, so this means depending on where you're from, if you're Mediterranean, you're African, your ancestries, where that bloodline goes, okay, their nutrition was different, you know? Like, I'm getting magnesium, potatoes. Like, magnesium is a deficient. Oh my God, I can't talk. I hate this Virgo horizon sometimes, you guys. Okay, it is a deficient. I can't say that word. It's not going to come out, but you understand what I'm saying here. It is a problem now. A lot of people are missing magnesium from their body. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. It's Virgo rising. I'm trying. I am trying. Uh, for some of you guys, that might be, and that will affect your energy. You will get quite drained. You'll get quite tired. So it could be something simple like that. You want to research it, and you want to ensure that you're getting it from an actual source here, not just an article written by some person who is like uh, thinks they're informed on it. You want to find actual data that backs that up. So you want to go to health sources. Uh, but if there's some sort of okay thing to do with ancestry though, like so like you might not okay like because a lot of people they move to foreign countries, America, okay, these countries are becoming more modern, but each background, and I don't like separating people. I'm an Aquarius, we're all whole, right? Like uh, but there is a sense here of oh my gosh, from your ancestry. So it's like a food item that they ate that you no longer have in your dietary, but due to your bloodline, that might have some importance to you. So if you're like, you know, like Greek or Mediterranean fish, you don't eat much fish because now you're more modern, where you eat more like out like cheeseburgers, or you know, even if you're Asian descent, okay, there's certain things that you're no longer eating that your ancestors ate, but that nutrients in that is like it's something to do with like you need that to properly function because it's a malnutrition for you due to your ancestry. I hope that makes sense. I don't. It's the message I'm getting. I'm seeing for that person who has that child you're concerned about, food is a great deal, and there's other women. I'm getting specific other women that have had similar issues that have helped, uh, that have found solutions for their children or improved their lifestyle through food. It is through food. And I think I brought this up before for just you guys. Um, Food has healing power. Uh, you know, like cinnamon. Okay, for those of you that want, you know, are trying to eat better or whatever, cinnamon alone can boost your metabolism up 3 times faster, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. Okay, I haven't studied it in a long time. I do know that it boosts your metabolism up uh, and it speeds it up. So you start breaking down food, like other foods in your body quicker uh, and more efficient. And it's just like a teaspoon of like cinnamon on your yogurt with uh, I can't talk, people. With like granola, you know? It's something, it's a very small change, but it like will boost your metabolism up, which helps you break down colds and flus too, right? That's just an example. Using honey instead of sugar. Uh, what I have at work is you gotta ensure that your emotions don't get off balance, okay? Because there could be some people, Aries, you guys are hard workers, all right? But there is a sense here of I'm getting noble, the word noble, which is weird. Uh, but you do gotta tame the inner beast. So like when your emotions start to get off balance, you need to pause, step back, and evaluate that. You got to give yourself time. You have the Queen of Pentacles here, where she's practical. All right, like she doesn't let her emotions like sway her too often. She separate. She knows you have some sort of goal in mind, and you guys really have like a strong ancestry thing happening here, and the energies are they're quite weird. And my arms are like getting tingly, which is like, I mean, they're only getting tingly when like the ancestor energy is coming in, which means like there's some sort of strong. I'm not sure if that has to do with your food. For some of you, that okay, dance again, it's coming back. Some of you guys might be from cultures where dance is quite important to you guys, and there was I want to say truth, but there was a reason for that. Okay, whether you're African tribal dancing, Native Indian tribal dancing, there's you need protection, okay? And it sounds silly, but it is protection. Like any negative energies that are coming at you, it will kind of block them off, and it'll elevate yours to a point where those negative energies cannot attach themselves to you. Okay, at home we do have the King of Swords. For some of you guys, this is talking about okay, there's issues with the father and your child. For some of you, it's like your husband has caused some sort of separation with a child, and then some of you, it seems like you're concerned that your husband is sorry, something just popped up on the screen there. Some of you are concerned that your spouse is like seeing other people or has other options. I'm not seeing that's actually happening. I'm seeing that as that this is what you're concerned about, okay? And this is why you guys need to be careful with the information that you're taking on and you're taking in, okay? Uh, I don't deal with like the whole just love thing and the soulmate thing. I think that's a bunch of crock. Not the fact of soulmates or whatever, but people doing that, they're preying. It's predator prey. They're preying on people's vulnerabilities. Soulmates come in all forms. They come in all forms. They come through the form of your child. They come through the form of a husband. They come through the form of a father. Me personally, I believe that my father is my soulmate. He's my stepfather, but he's a Capricorn, and he came into my life when I was very young. I'm 32 now, um, and he came into my life when Capricorn, uh, when Saturn started being activated in my chart. And because I have a lot of different signs in my chart, this means that I've had Saturn wreaking havoc since it was pretty much in Taurus. Because Taurus is my north node, which is your north node is like for me, I got a fixed destiny because Taurus is fixed. It's like it's whatever my destiny is destined to happen. I don't necessarily understand that, but that's when Capricorn came into my life, which was my father. When Saturn hit Taurus, and that's a soulmate. he needed to teach me how to harness the Saturn energy. And without him being in my life, I would never have been able to withstand Saturn from the time of Taurus. And it takes 3.5 years each cycle until, and I'm a Sagittarius sun. So, and it's still in my chart, and like Saturn, when you have Saturn in your sign, it is very stressful. It rips things apart and rebuilds, and rips it apart and then rebuilds. And every time it's doing that, it's showing you the fault in it, and you got to restructure again. Um, it's basically Saturn is the general. It's teaching you things to get you out there where you're not going to be phased by anybody else, right? Like it builds like soldiers. I don't okay, and again, this is like if you're having this issue where you think your spouse is like cheating, okay, I'm not getting that. Like, and that's not something that, I'm gonna say out here, because let's be realistic, people. Like, I'm not gonna rip a family apart because of an assumption. You know what I mean? You don't know. Like, you don't know. It's a general reading, and that's not something that somebody you would need a personal reading for that. And it's the context, or you need to know the situation, right? And also, like cheating. When you get into the psychology, the human mind of cheating, there's many reasons why cheating happens. Okay, it's not just a simple fact that that person's just a douchebag. That it's not that simple. There's a lot of different. You need to know the context. I'm not even saying that word right. I hate being a Virgo horizon. I really do. Uh, I mean, it has its benefits. I'm exaggerating there, but like it has its faults for something like this. Well, if something like that, if you're experiencing something like that, okay, for some of you guys, this is talking about like your ex is just wreaking havoc on your life somehow, or you're allowing him to take your energy. You're giving him too much, which means you're giving him too much thought. All right, he doesn't matter. He's not in your life. If he's creating problems for you, it's because you're allowing it to bother you. You need to separate yourself from that. There's this, okay, you have Aquarius here, and that's what Aquarius does. They're very detached. And a lot of people think that, they're not emotional. That's not true. They understand emotions. They're the water barrier. Oh my goodness. They pour out the water, which means that these people, they're great psychologists, great scientists. They understand things on an intellectual level. They can pick it apart, and they can see the fault in it. This also means that when a person is crying and they're fake crying, and Aquarius can see right through this. All right, Aquarius can see through people's emotions. They understand where their emotions are stemming from. All right, an underlying issue. Aquarian suns have this ability. An Aquarius, Mars, and Venus person, that's their natural gift. They're given the gift of humanitarian. It's like a lot of people misunderstand that energy. They see the Five of Swords and they're like, oh my goodness, this is Five of Swords is a energy of victory, and it's an energy of change. And a Mars Aquarius person, that is their gift. They change things, all right, and it's not about one-upmanship, because the Aquarius energy is humanitarian, and the Aquarius energy does not get upset. They get detached. They understand where the person's coming from, and they understand the nature of it, why they're doing it, why they're acting that way. Their lower animal instincts. Okay, so if your spouse is trying to, mm, okay, it might be, what I'm getting is your spouse might feel a little devalued. Uh, okay, I don't see cheating, but I see the possibility for emotional. Okay, what it is because they're not getting emotions from you. This has been going on for a while. They're going to start seeking that somewhere else. All right, and this is what I mean about when people are just out there spreading cards and telling people, your loved one's cheating on you. Okay, they don't know anything about that. That's not right for them to say that, because they're destroying a family. All right, and two to tango here. So in some cases here, if you're avoiding your spouse with work, then you're okay. In some situations when that goes on for a long amount of time, your spouse is human. They have human needs, and they're going to unconsciously start seeking out emotional validation from others. All right. There's a potential, and because it's the tower, I'm not saying that this is happening now, but I'm saying that there's a potential for this to happen in the future. Aquarius's energy, it's the universal energy. It's a okay, and in the universe, time works a lot different. All right. So it's like you're given the heads up here. All right. So if maybe your spouse is starting to talk to other people or you're stemming that, well, then don't look at it as in they're cheating. You need to see the actual issue of the problem. You need to find the root issue. And the root issue is both parties have that say in it. And that might, you know, might not make some people happy to understand that, but I'm not here to judge anybody, all right? Like, we all make mistakes. We're humans. We're here for a human experience, all right? And the way karma works is a lot of people misunderstand karma. Karma is done on a level of awareness. Some people aren't aware of what they do, and we're all here for the human experience. We need to make mistakes in order to learn. We're never going to learn without mistakes. It's part of our journey. It gets us on to our pathway, all right? If a person is aware and it's premeditated, well, then that's when karma comes into hand. Premeditated means that you've thought it out. Um, so you're aware of what you're doing. You're aware of the consequences. Some of you have just a person who's just, and it is an ex that's just trying to get you emotionally off balance. You can't give them that power. You got to take your power back, which means you just ignore them. All right, you ignore them. Some of you have new beginnings here that will be happening. Maybe a move might happen. You guys got a weird reading. Okay, so at work again. Okay, this is the only card in here. Some people might find it offensive. I don't see why, but it is the Hangman. This is talking about Aries. You need to step back and you need to aim. You need to aim before you shoot. Don't shoot without aiming. So it's talking about you need to okay, like if we consider, let's consider like, okay, we're gonna go modern day because this is a bow and arrow, right? Modern day, this would be like the sniper, and the sniper, all right, they don't just get their target. They have to be trained for that, and they have to be trained, and they got to be quite patient. They could be out for days and laying in one position, and it doesn't matter. They're going to be going through rain, wind. It could be sandstorms coming at them. They do not move. All right, they're patient. They wait, and they have to make alterations to the conditions around them. This is the message I'm getting. So this means that you can't be all uh, before you go into morphin mode. You have to adapt to all the conditions around you. You got to consider all of those things first, and then you make your move. So it is talking about aiming first before you shoot at work, being more passive. And then for some of you that do have you really do got to express yourself more. You have a lot of concerns and worry, and those need to come out in a form of diary, like writing it down, burning it afterwards or something. You do have to get those mental thoughts out. You got a lot going on here, Aries, in your mind, and you do need clarity, and you're going to receive that clarity. This is the Ace of Swords, right? It might take time. You got to be patient with yourself. Yeah, you got the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant is a higher learning, a higher knowledge. It's like the high priestess, but the male form of it, and the male form of it brings it into the material realm. He sees things in the material realm. The female form, the high priestess, sees things hidden behind the veil, and she kind of like gives the information to this guy, and this guy can materialize it. He can see it in the material realm, and manifest it towards others. But it is the higher learning card, higher wisdom and higher knowledge, and it's to see the unseen, and you need to be patient with yourself in order to see that. You got to take some time. You do have crows, and crows are highly intelligent. A lot of people don't know that. They're right there with apes. All right, and they're very. A lot of people have a misconception about the omen that they have, and they're actually good luck. Okay, when they're squawking, they actually communicate with each other and they warn each other about danger that's coming. All right, they're very oriented. They call it a murder. I'm pretty sure the group of it, and they're very family oriented. Their young stay with them longer than most do. The survival rate for the young is a little iffy, but they remember. They're quite intelligent. They can mimic and they remember faces. They have a secret communication with their family that no other crows can pick up on, and they have communication skills that they have with all the other crows. They're quite intelligent, and in one area of the world, they actually make tools on their own with their beaks, and they use it to get food. And they can do this in three. They can plan in three different phases. Like they're highly intelligent. Not even apes have that ability to use tools to get their uh, Okay, I'm seeing multiple crows, which means that you do have protection. Okay, the squawking is like them protecting each other. They can remember faces and they can protect each other from, like, they will squawk and warn you. They'll start cawing, you know? All right, you guys, that's all I'm getting. Yeah, you do. Okay, whatever your goal is, you're gonna get to it. You just need to be patient with yourself, is what it's saying. You got to see things from a different perspective, and the only way to see that is to like stand back and pause, really. Uh, and to ask yourself questions that you might not have asked yourself before. Why am I feeling this way? Why did I react that way? You got to understand where it's coming from, and then you might need to write it out. All right, you guys, namaste. Hopefully that helped you out, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao for now.